It is indeed with immense pleasure that we cordially welcome His Excellency Khaled Nasser AlAmeri, the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United Arab Emirates to the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. His Excellency has graced our studios with his presence on the momentous occasion of celebrating the National Day of the United Arab Emirates, Al-Yam Al-Watani, which falls on the 2nd of December. The UAE and Sri Lanka share a bond that is decades old, from when the UAE opened its embassy in Sri Lanka in 1999, and thereafter with diplomatic representation at the ambassadorial level continuing on both countries. This relationship further strengthened as the UAE has always stood by Sri Lanka positively during many historical occurrences, notably during the years of conflict in Sri Lanka's recent past and the tsunami tragedy of 2004, where the UAE provided emergency aid and immense assistance to overcome the challenges in the country. The relationship between the two nations is positively strengthened with the numerous agreements etched between the UAE and Sri Lanka, notably the Agreement on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters 2014, the Agreement on Cooperation and Technical Assistance in Customs Affairs 2017, and the MOU on Strengthening Best Practices in the Field of Manpower in 2018. The UAE's support is further assured by agreements underway with negotiations notably in the fields of the protection and promotion of investment between the two nations, the establishment of a joint business council, and cooperation in the fields of security, education, and scientific research. The instances and aspects of support and cooperation are diverse and immense to list. And as such, we begin this interview by thanking Your Excellency for taking time off your busy schedule to grace our studios, Asia's oldest and the second oldest in the world. We are truly honored by your presence here today, and we extend our best wishes to you and the people of the UAE on the momentous occasion of the National Day of the UAE. Thank you once again, Your Excellency, for being here.
Thank you, Mario. I'm very pleased to be here. It's an honor.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the National Day of the United Arab Emirates, or Al-Yam Al-Watani, is a significant occasion to the UAE and the people of the UAE. Your Excellency, what does this day signify to the UAE and the people of the UAE?
First of all, I'm very pleased to be in your show, Mario, and it's a kind of you and kind of the station to invite me to your program. The National Day, we call it the Union Day. It's the day that our 7 Emirates came together and constituted a federations that signify the start of our country. And it was the bold start and magnifies also our vision of our leaders' vision of the country, which was modest start in the 70s. The country was just starting to grow up. The infrastructure was very modest. And when we see what we have achieved today, we really appreciate the vision that our founding father have in the beginning. That's why we are valuing this day, because it is the start of our bold and ambitious journey, and it will continue as it is. That we are progressing to higher levels in the future as well.
That's truly wonderful, Your Excellency, and it would indeed not be wrong to state that the UAE is in many aspects a representation of the globalized world today, a center of focus where the traditions of the ancient world and the marvels of the future, as you highlighted, coexist in harmony. In your opinion, does not the National Day of the UAE bring together people from across the globe, celebrating the marvels of the modern UAE?
Mario, the UAE, since its start, we started with open mind and open heart for everybody. We welcomed people from around the world. This is not recently, this is since the 71 when we started the country. So our tolerance, and open hearts and mind is there in the mind and hearts of the people and the leaders of the UAE. That's why it's not a surprise after 52 years you find UAE as a melting pot for people from diverse races, diverse languages, diverse cultures coming together and living in peace and harmony in the UAE. So this mentality and this spirit of openness and tolerance is you can see it in accepting whoever with whatever his belief system, his religion system, his language. They are welcome, and they are coming with their ideas, their efforts, which will help the country to develop, and it's helped the country to develop in the previous years, and it will help as well in future years. So we are a country that's a base for the world. You can find a person or more from the 190 nationalities in the he will be there, let alone the 15 million tourists that we receive each year who are coming from different kind of the world.
And definitely, Your Excellency, you are so welcoming yourself as an ambassador. You are so kind to us, and it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio. So the UAE is a larger representation of that hospitality.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, how does the UAE value our long-standing diplomatic ties?
Sri Lanka is a friendly neighboring country. We started in the 71, and our relationship started in the 71 between the two countries. But between the two nations started hundreds of years before. 600, 700 years, people and traders from Arabian Peninsula came to Sri Lanka. They came with prosperity as a traders, and they came with open-minded, and the Sri Lankan community, Sri Lankan people, they accepted this trader as a friends and a partners in their community and partners in their prosperities and trade. So the Sri Lankan, they contributed to our development. They are part of our success story in the UAE. We received Sri Lankans since the 71, which is the start. They were friends, they were kind, they were skilled, and they helped in the development, and they're still helping the development. The Sri Lankan community in the UAE is I think the 9th largest community in the country, and they are bringing their experiences, they are bringing their dedication, and they are also not forgetting their mother country, Sri Lanka, which is they are sending help to their families. About 9% of the remittances that received by Sri Lanka, it's received from the UAE expatriate workers. So actually we don't call them expatriate worker, we call them a guest. They are a guest of the country, and they are, as I told you before, a part of our success story.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And the UAE has always been with Sri Lanka, as you highlighted, in our shared history of cooperation. Your Excellency, as Sri Lanka is currently navigating through an economic crisis, the support rendered by the UAE in terms of UAE aid is a strength. What are the key aspects of UAE aid rendered to Sri Lanka?
Mario, we have a strong aid program, and it's helping all the needed countries, especially countries in crisis. And we extended the hand since last year, food program, our children and women supporting program. More than 50,000 Sri Lankans benefited from this program since 2022. But this is not it. This is helping a friendly country in a disaster. But our belief is that we should help people and countries to be self-sustained and self-sufficient. That's why we prefer development aid than just humanitarian. We are giving humanitarian aid because it's needed. It's a disaster. You have to help people at the time of hardship. But our strongest help to Sri Lanka is coming from different dimensions. We have strong airline connectivity between Sri Lanka and the UAE. Our 4 airlines, which is Emirates Airlines, Etihad Airlines, Fly Dubai, Air Arabia, they are flying daily to Sri Lanka. And at one point of the time, we used to have 10 daily flights for our national airlines. This connectivity is helping Sri Lanka in bringing tourists. This year, Emirates Airlines, they signed a MOU with the Board of Tourism, and this MOU, Emirates will promote Sri Lanka as a touristic destination. And this will help to support the tourism business in Sri Lanka. And we can see the number of Sri Lankan tourists coming to Sri Lanka increasing. We can see it from our airlines, and we can see it from other airlines as well. And we also helping Sri Lanka at this time, difficult time, which is becoming a little bit less this year compared with the last year. UAE is a hub for trade and logistics. So we are providing this hub for Sri Lankan exporters. So their export products can reach different parts of the world. Tea products, spices, rubber, whatever Sri Lanka produce, garments, it goes to Sri Lanka, to UAE, but it's also re-exported to so many countries around the world. Also, we mentioned the guest workers who are working in the UAE, more than 100,000, sending 10 or 9% of their remittances coming by. This is also helping Sri Lanka to recover from the crisis, and also helping the people who are working, gaining new experiences, gaining new practices of work, mastering technologies that's widely spread in the UAE. And we believe that this is the more important help than giving. Yeah. We are giving away, food distribution, dry ratio. This is yearly, but the most significant help is coming from this kind of development. And we also working with Sri Lanka right now to develop its renewable energy sector. We have very strong company in this field, and we are planning to do future projects here in Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Excellency. And the UAE is home to many Sri Lankans domiciled in the UAE as migrant workers, but as you very rightly and very kindly pointed out, as guests, contributing to the growth of the UAE. What is Your Excellency's message to the people of Sri Lanka in the UAE on this occasion of the National Day of the UAE?
My first message is thank you. Thank you for your participation in our development and also in your mother country development. Thank you for being such a peaceful community. Thank you for being such a professional and dedicated professionals who are working in the UAE. And we appreciate your efforts. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate all the sweat that you are paying in the work in the UAE. And we know that it's a mutual benefits for both countries, for Sri Lanka and for UAE, and for the individuals and their families. The second message to our Sri Lankan friends and guests who are in the UAE, we consider UAE as your second home. So Sri Lanka is your first home, and UAE is your second home. You are in your second home. You are not in foreign countries, and our relationship between the two countries is highly valued by the people of UAE and by the leadership of UAE.
Thank you very much for your kind words, Your Excellency. The UAE is a center of education, technology, innovation and cultures, as you very rightly pointed out today. What are your thoughts on the aspect of cultural cooperation between our two nations?
Mario, we sharing some common values as cultures of UAE. Sri Lanka is a country that have different communities are living with different belief system, with different languages and different races. They are living in harmony, and we are sharing the same tolerance value. And we believe we can build on that. I know that the tolerance which is the Sri Lankan citizens have, it's coming from their belief system. In Buddha's teaching, to love everybody and love everything and treat all the creatures, not human beings, with kindness and with care. And this is something that Sri Lanka can teach the world from their Buddhist heritage. UAE, we also we built institutions to harness harmony and coexistence among all the nations. We built the Brotherhood institutions, which is bringing all the religion of the world for more understanding and more call for tolerance and coexistence. And also we having conferences that promote the same values, and we can participate in these and try to learn from each other. And also in terms of science and technology, there are some sectors that we can work in it. Sri Lanka is an island in the middle of ocean. That's all, and it has so much biodiversity, especially marine biodiversity. And we are sharing the Indian Ocean. The both countries are sharing. We can cooperate. And I met in the few months back with 3 of the universities here in Sri Lanka, and we are discussing cooperation in joint research in this field, and also in the marine life. Also, we are faced by common threat, which is climate change, and we can work also in how to counter this threat. And also Sri Lanka, they have ambitious plan for its energy mix. They are planning to have 75% of their energy mix coming from renewable by 2030. We have expertise in this. Right now, our energy, although we are oil producing, but 50% of our energy produced is coming from renewable. Whether it's a nuclear plants, whether it's a wind turbines, solar panels, and the plan is to increase this to higher. And our companies, they are very experienced. One of our companies is called Masdar. It's working in 40 countries. They have installed more than 40 gigawatt capacity around the world, and they have done study about Sri Lanka, and they find a potential to start a project. So these are kind of the technologies and sciences that we can participate. Another thing is in the last speech of the President Ranil in the Parliament, which is the budget speech, he mentioned artificial intelligence initiative. UAE they value the what artificial intelligence can contribute to the country, to the economy, to the community. That's why we started 5 years back, the first artificial intelligence university in the world, Mohammed bin Zayed University for Artificial Intelligence. And we are bringing experts and students from around the world. So we can contribute to the initiative of the President and next year to be realized, and in cooperation with our think tanks who are working in artificial intelligence. And we can both benefit from it.
Definitely. And Your Excellency, your views on UAE cooperation to COP28 or COP28 and Sri Lanka's role in COP28?
We already mentioned how the threat of climate change. The threat of the climate change, it's not only faced by one or two or few countries. it's existential threat for the whole planet. Yeah. And it's so big that no country can face it by itself. That's why we believe that all the countries, all the nations of the world, all the people, and even the private sector, the non-governmental organization, individuals, should have a contribution to counter the risks arising from climate change. In this sense, we are hosting the COP28 meeting to bring the world and to facilitate outcomes that will contribute to the global efforts to counter the climate change. And we are centering our priority in climate change in different areas. We are concentrating on the energy transition. We want a smooth and just and fair energy transition from traditional energy to the new renewable energy. We know that this is not easy for all the country, but each country with its own capabilities, with its own pace, with its own stage in the development, it will have plan in this move. And we will help each other in providing technology, providing support, providing finance mechanism for this transition. The other area is renewable in providing the finance. Yeah. Last COP, the countries of the world, they agreed in creating lose and damage fund, which will finance projects that will stop this challenge in different countries, especially the countries who are in need in this kind of funding. So operationalizing this fund will be one priority for us. Another thing is that the climate change has presented another challenge and crisis, which is the food supply crisis. We saw this during COVID. We saw this in countries that's even faced by disaster. Yeah. For example, when tsunami hit Sri Lanka, was a big crisis for the food. That's why we are championing what we call sustainable agriculture. That will preserve the land, will preserve the air, and will provide the needed food. And also we found that there's a bottlenecks in the food supply system and the value chain of the food. So using technology, using logistics that will facilitate this will also help. And I wanted to commend Sri Lanka preparation and their enthusiasm about participation in COP28. I would like to mention the initiative that was mentioned to me by the Minister of Finance, which is the Climate Justice Forum, which Sri Lanka intend to hold in COP28 in their pavilion in the COP28 in the coming month. And another initiative that was started also by the Honorable President Ranil Wickremesinghe is creating a climate change university. This is ambitious. This is needs. It's the first time that somebody calls for such university, and it's needed to create technologies and mechanisms that will help countries in countering this risk. Another thing that also Sri Lanka is promoting is what they call it the tropical belt. Tropical belt is bringing all the countries in the tropical areas like Sri Lanka, harnessing the capabilities there and using the resources responsibly. So I'm commending really the strong participation from Sri Lanka in COP28.
Thank you, Excellency, and time is ticking. Finally, Your Excellency, your message to the people of Sri Lanka listening to the oldest radio station in Asia and the second oldest radio station in the world today on this momentous occasion celebrated by the UAE.
My message to my friends in Sri Lanka that you have a jewel. Sri Lanka is a jewel in the middle of the ocean. And you have so many beautiful land and mountain and beaches that's not available for so many countries. So I always say that to my Sri Lankan friends, you have a jewel but you need to polish it. You need a little polishing and it will glow. And you have a dedicated and you have also professional people who are in the government, in the private sector, and the civil society sector who can contribute to the success of this country. So value what you have, work hard, and you have the capabilities, you have the knowledge that's not even used by so many countries like UAE and Europe. So use it for your country, and UAE will be a strong supporter, and we will stand behind you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. You are very kind. It was indeed a pleasure to have with us His Excellency Khaled Nasser AlAmeri, the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United Arab Emirates to the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. We wish Your Excellency continued strength in the successful completion of your diplomatic objectives in Sri Lanka. We hope that Sri Lanka has become a second home to you and to Your Excellency with our sincere hospitality and as you highlighted our rich cultural heritage. We wish you and the people of the UAE all the very best. Thank you once again, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Mario, and many thanks to the station for hosting me.
This special program was coordinated by Ms. Priyadarshini and produced by the Director of the English Service, Mrs. Indira Navagamur, under the guidance of the Chairman of the SLBC, Mr. Hudson Samarasinghe. I am Mario Vijayawardena, ending this program with a special request, or rather a mention by His Excellency that this number is one of his favorites. We end this very, very special program. And once again, thank you for being with Radio Sri Lanka.
ونعم الزعيم يا وطنا في ذرى نعم الزعيم عيش في عزه تحت بشت الأمان رايتك من فوق هامات القميم وين ما شب